Part of the reason why I really like Huck is, well, I guess I've been thinking about it a bit more, because yesterday when I posted in Discord the whole, kind of what I said about that one issue with the veterans,
Hmm.
um, I guess I was kind of thinking too, about that, and I think one of the big reasons I like this is a Superman, like a basically Superman, subversion or parody or whatever the word would be, like story, but
Inspiration, I think, is the better word. Where I think it fits the motif of like small, like country kid from like like a rural area. Like we all know Clark Kent lives in Kansas, but like Huck actually does embody that a lot better than Clark does, honestly. It's kind of something we usually have to remind ourselves that, oh yeah, Clark Kent grew up in Kansas, which when you really start to think about it, he doesn't really act like that as comparative to like Huck per se, where how he dresses, how he acts, how he walks, he actually does embody that
yeah.
rural America a little bit more, honestly.
I think part of it is, to be fair, with Superman, he does live in Metropolis.
Yeah.
He kind of transitioned from rural to city, but I do see your point.
Yeah, that is true. But I guess I was kind of gonna get to that though. He has more
Mm.
similarities to that of Matt Murdock, Peter Parker, and some other characters from like city areas, how they dress and act, as opposed to
I,
like how Huck does though. But yeah, that's a fair comparison.
I actually never thought about that. Yeah, he kind of does share a little bit with Peter Parker as well.
Hmm.
I guess the reason why I brought that up I got kind of thinking, because to me, the story is kind of meant to be kind of meant to be a, was it postmodern critique is what I kind of saw wording for it, but I guess the more I thought about it, the more I realized it is similar to stuff like The Boys or Invincible, where they have that Superman type character. However, the thing about stuff like The Boys is Homelander is what if Superman was kind of, I guess, more like a, not a real person, but what if he was like, I guess, I don't know, I guess more realistic personality wise. Or no, that'd be more like Invincible. Homelander is just evil Superman.
Yeah,
Invincible is more like,
Homelander is basically what is like Lex Luthor's worst nightmare if Clark didn't have those ideals.
yeah,
Invincible is kind of a merger between Superman and Spider-Man. There's even like, I don't know if you've read the comic, but like there is a crossover a little bit where he does go into the Marvel universe. Like in Invincible season 2, we kind of get a bit of that. It's not really Spider-Man, but he is voiced by Joss Keaton. But he does have a little chat with Spider-Man, and it's an obvious little like nod because it's very clear Invincible is inspired by both Superman and Spider-Man in the whole. He's inexperienced, but he is super powerful, and there are aspects of Viltrum and stuff like that that is borrowed a bit from Krypton, but there's like an inverse to it. So I guess that kind of makes sense, though. If anything, I think Huck kind of shares some more similarities to like Invincible than Boys does. And this has come from someone who does like the Boys comic, obviously, but where the Boys is a critique of the industry, entertainment, as well as like media consumption, our government, and stuff like that, while also telling this pretty out there, like semi like fight the power superhero type story. Well, Invincible and Huck are they kind of both tier the line of being traditional and somewhat heartfelt, but is just brought to a bit more of a reality, if that makes sense. I hope I'm clear in that when I say that.
yeah. Or I was just trying to bring up like Superman examples, because
Hmm.
with what I was trying to say is that what I like about Huck is it takes, I guess, okay, it's kind of like what you said though. It's like it takes the ideals of Superman, but puts them in the real world, kind of, not like a comic book DC world, but the real world. We even see that where how he saves the Muslim children, I think in the first issue.
From Boko
Uh,
Haram. Yeah, that's kind of a little.
Wait, what?
Yes, that's Boko Haram. This is here kind of a little bit of I don't know if old uh Mark Millar is the right word, but it has a bit of that little listing of where he'll take like a real world event or aspect of a real world event and put it into his comic. And but here he actually does it in a lighthearted way where it's kind of like wish fulfillment, where like that was an actual incident that actually happened, and Huck goes and actually saves them and gives them candy. And it's actually a really good heartfelt like moment in the comic, and one of several heartfelt moments in the comic rather.
Yeah, because this one, saving the one, I think saving the girl, from like those druggies, um, finding the dog, yeah, this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even like I mentioned earlier with, him also giving the, hotel food to the cats and the veterans. That's one of those heartfelt moments too.
Mm-hmm.
But that one especially, because I brought that one up in the Discord, I loved in that one issue, and I love with that issue, I guess the way he talked to them. Just kind of that, like, I think the best way to describe it, just that very, like, just kind of, very, because in all fairness, the comic also makes it kind of clear he is not the smartest tool in the shed, but I just like the way he talks to them, just that kind of, like, I guess happy-go-lucky kind of way of talking, just like the, like, sure it is, I already got a bed, no sense having two, kind of that type of line. I like that.
Yeah. Issue 3. That's what that is. Yeah, it's a great moment, actually, though. Yeah. And I think the comic also like really builds like a I love how it builds a story, even though it is semi-episodic, where each issue like is kind of like its own story to an extent, like up to issue 3. That's technically up until the very end of that issue. That's when the real like narrative kind of kicks in, where you learn more about Huck and about his mom, and about like the whole experimentation thing, which was actually pretty neat. But and that's
I will admit,
yeah, go ahead.
Just quickly, I want to note, I still love the, it's not the last panel of, I think it was issue 4, but it's like one of the last ones. I really love the gut punch, of his mom saying, I only had one son. When I first read this, that got me hard. Just that, I just love it. That concerned face, the simple what's wrong, and just that. With how the panel is also drawn out too, I think it was really well done.
Yeah.
Just because we find out, the brother's the robot.
Yeah. That major twist. I remember reading that for the first time. I remember having to do a double take, and I was like, wait a minute, what? And then, boom, he like grabs her, kicks her. He's like, it's safe to come out now, Professor. They're both down. It's like, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
Major twist coming in. Which is great. Like Mark still like has it after all these years, and he actually knows how to really like do that little subversion when he's not like fucking around. Like there are some comics of his that I don't like, and there are some that I do like that have issues. Here I think has a good like balance of things, including like tone and narrative, I would say.
Yeah. I'll even say, out of curiosity, do you think it's a bit of a, like, I don't know if it's like a plot hole or just like an oversight. Do you think it was a bit of an oversight that, like, that they put, Huck and his mom in the same jail cell? Because obviously that's how they get out, but you wonder if the professor would have been smart, or should have been smarter about it.
I guess you can say that's an oversight, to be honest. Like you did kind of bring up a good point, though, but probably because he was like very confident, especially since he already had like the other guy like watching over the two, and the glass was already pretty strong. So they probably like thought that they had them in the bag, and they didn't really have they didn't really have that much to worry about. But yeah, you kind of do bring up a good point. It would have been smarter for the both of them to be in different rooms. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think Huck is even more so special because that it really shows how great Mark Millar is as a writer, how he's capable of writing a really good Superman story, and him also being the type of person to write a story like Nemesis, and the Nemesis, what was it, Reloaded, Reborn, and both of which are legit. They're fun, but they're edgy as hell, because the main dude is basically Batman if he was just completely evil and just a sinister dick the entire time. And the same could also be said for like Kick-Ass 2, where like the comic is incredibly dark. Like there's like a major like right turn at like, it was either like issue like 6 or 5 where the motherfucker actually comes in with his gang like he in that issue, like he kills a bunch of kids, like shoots them in the head. His comment's like, "Oh, so what? iCarly loses a few viewers," and then they go to
Jesus.
David's Kick-Ass's like, not really his girlfriend, but his friend rather. Like the chick he's been chasing after. They go to her house, they break in, they gang rape her. It's actually implied, but like we don't actually see anything. And then after that, like more and more shit actually happens though. Like like that comic's incredibly dark and takes a major just right shift though. Like the first comic is grim too, but yeah, like it's kind of funny how like the movie and that comic are pretty much close, minus a few details, and how different Kick-Ass 2, the movie, and Kick-Ass 2, the comic actually is, which I think that might be for the better, but I'm not getting too sidetracked here, but I guess the point of the matter is that Mark is capable of writing a variety of stories, shall we say.
One thing I do kind of like with the epilogue as well, especially with the epilogue, I do like kind of the epilogue as a whole, but I do really like, honestly, I do it's kind of like a fun little flashback to the first and like second issues, but I do like him forgiving, I guess forgiving the chick that kind of ratted him out to the news people, or the news station.
Miss Davis?
Yeah.
Yeah. No hard feelings.
Yeah, I like that. Also, the kind of cheesy happy to help sign. I really like that too.
Yeah. It's still great. It's still great. Like, it's legit really good.
Yeah. There's that. The, I know it's probably another me kind of rambling how I like it, but I also really like the, when they're trying to go to his mom's place, and they're just, like, sidetracked by, like, 20 different things.
Yeah. Like him helping the ducks or him helping other people, like, because he's just that good of a person. And even though it is a place for comedy, and it just goes to show and adds more to his character that he's just that really good, and that and just blah, blah, blah. He's just that good-willed and has a big heart and just clearly cares a lot. And it basically is, like I kind of said to circle back earlier, like has a lot of the qualities that Superman has, and clearly kind of harkens back to those golden age like comics basically. Like it's awesome to see. It's honestly, I think I kind of wrote down and this may or may not be accurate, but it's accurate to me, where Huck is probably one of the best Superman stories just never made, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, you're kind of right. I can see it. At least just with how, I don't think we've ever really got prequels of Superman like in in Kansas doing stuff around there. Actually, it would be really cool when I think about it.
The closest we got is Smallville.
Okay, yeah.
The closest we got is Smallville and Superman Earth 1. And we got a few one-shots here and there, but not like a straight-up like prequel like series, I think, of him like before he was Superman, basically.
Yeah. Also, kind of a smaller note I like about Huck, but whenever, especially in stories where they're still kind of mature, or like, more, they have adult stuff in it, is usually they'll always have, if they do have a character who is non-lethal, they always have to like make an excuse for why they're non-lethal. I like with Huck, it's literally just, he doesn't like to kill. I just like that simplistic style to it.
Yeah.
I don't know, and sometimes people get really convoluted when they try to do, like, they get kind of convoluted with, like, no-kill rules sometimes, and it's like, I like it when it's just simple, hey, he doesn't kill. Because there are times it's like, oh, this or that, and I don't know. I guess to harp back on one thing you kind of mentioned earlier, I do like his outfit. I don't know, the overalls with that really cool, like, 78 on the back. Like, I kind of wish I had more heroes wearing kind of basic clothes like that. Like, 'cause I will admit, I am kind of like a Incredibles, no capes kind of guy. So I always like when they get more creative with their costumes. Just like overalls or stuff like that. Like, even some of the makeshift Spider-Man costumes, I kind of like.
Oh. Yeah, like the whole mechanic look that Huck has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good, or yeah, just a really good 6-issue comic series. I guess if I had one final note, sorry, I do like how he interacts with the townsfolk. I do like how they kind of, um, you can definitely tell it's, I don't know if they ever outright say it, or they just basically heavily imply it, but yeah, I like how, it's very clear the townsfolk raised him from youth and kind of all share him as their, I guess, son, so to speak.
Mm,
I like the old women trying to help out and all that.
yeah.
Oh no, yeah, they show it. They do show it. Okay, but yeah, I like that, and it's just kind of cool.